Welcome back to DONSLIFE, welcome to the channel. They say all good things do come to an end. Behind me we have my GMC Sierra AT4. This is the last time it is ever going to look like this. That's because the Saskatoon Police Department does not like my truck. So much so, they actually filled out a bunch of paperwork that are gonna force us to change it. Let's go. We'll start with this one right here because it's the one that was the big surprise. So on September 27th at 2:08 p.m., Mrs. DONSLIFE and I were driving to our campsite because we were going to winterize our holiday trailer and put it away for the season. We got pulled over for reasons I'll get to in a moment, but from that pullover, it resulted in this pink piece of paper here and another one, which I'll get into after that. So important information, the vehicle is not roadworthy. If any equipment offense is indicated below, the vehicle must be repaired prior to its use on a public highway in order for it to be in compliance with Section 113 of the Traffic Safety Act. If you operate the vehicle before repairs are completed, you could be ticketed. Time provided is not to operate, but repair this vehicle. For safety, vehicles with severe problems may be towed. Thankfully, we were not towed. So here they have the officer check all boxes that apply. Sections in tan can be severe. Luckily, we don't have anything checked off in tan. But what we do have checked off is the offense of fenders/mud flaps. Therefore, we've been ordered to remedy the situation immediately and have it inspected by October 15th, which is tomorrow. Now, I'm not disputing that mud flaps are important. I actually think you should have mud flaps, but if you remember, we installed these EGR fender flares, which ended up deleting the mud flap, and I should probably have some. So I'm not going to contest this one. We got to figure out a way to put mud flaps on here. Unfortunately, I ordered some mud flaps and they did not arrive in time, so I'm gonna have to go back to the stock mud flaps, which means we have to take off these fender flares. So these EGR fender flares have to come off because we have inadequate protection or coverage from the bottom of the fender here to the ground. And the only way we're gonna get close to being compliant is to put on some mud flaps. In this case, the stock ones like I mentioned. Now these wheels do have 2-inch spacers on them. That was so they would match the fender flare. I think it looks really good, but we can't have a look this way anymore. We have to take them off. So that's where we're at. Like I mentioned, I ordered some mud flaps, but they did not arrive in time. It's the long weekend, Thanksgiving long weekend here in Canada, and I need to get this inspected tomorrow, and the mud flaps still aren't here. They're probably gonna show up tomorrow, but it doesn't really give me enough time to mount them, make sure they fit properly, and remedy the situation, keeping the fender flares on the truck. So that's why we have to go back to stock. We're also taking out the spacers, hoping that these tires, which are just a little bit oversized, don't rub the factory mud flaps. I don't think they will because with the spacer off, they're gonna sit flush to the body. That's how I ordered the offset for these wheels, was that if I ever had to take off the fender flares and I was in the situation, the wheels would look nice. So hopefully that's how this works out. But this isn't even why I got pulled over. So I got pulled over because I did unlawfully commit the following offense under the Vehicle Equipment Regulations Number 10 Act 66 subsection 3. Description of the offense: unlawfully have sunscreen/reflective material on front side windows other than applied by the manufacturer. This is resulting in a fine of $115 due no later than October 25th, 2024. Now, if that wasn't enough, he decided it was time to do a full walk around. So first he noticed my light bar up at the top there, and he said, it's kind of hard to see, but is that amber? And I had my amber DRLs on. So I said, yes, it's amber. And he goes, oh, okay, as long as it's amber. So my big light bar on the top, I guess if it's illuminated amber, then it's accepted for front facing lights. That was okay. But had it been in the white DRL mode, it might've been a different story. I don't know. So he took my ID, didn't take my proof of insurance. I'm not really sure why. When he ran my ID, maybe he saw that I've had window tint violations in the past. Either way, he only wrote me a ticket for that. But I still think window tint should be legal in more provinces, more states, just for the fact that it can help be a preventative measure for skin cancer. Think of all the truck drivers that have their left arm super tanned because they're driving truck all day and the sun is just beating down through that window. Anyway, you get the point. So I've already paid this fine. That's done. This just really chaps my AT4. It's just annoying more than anything that we're here having to do this. So he comes back, hands me back my ID, and then he challenges me on the color of the truck. Well, as you can see, it's a two-tone. We got the black on top with 2/3 of it khaki green below. We tell him it's white. So once we got past all that, we seemed to be good to go, but that's when he handed me the inspection ticket for the mud flaps. So no fine for the mud flaps, provided I remedy the situation. But remember, I just paid the ticket for the window tint, so I still have the window tint on there. and this inspection has to take place at the police headquarters. So tomorrow I've got to drive down to police headquarters with the mud flaps, assuming this all works out properly. Maybe even my stock wheels if these ones rub or don't fit properly, because I've never had this combination of wheel on here. I had some different wheels with a different offset. If you remember, they were bronze. The offset on those wheels is a little bit different than the offset on the Brink wheels that I'm running right now. So I haven't actually tested these wheels without the fender flares that we're going to be taking off today. So I guess we'll hope that it works out. Otherwise, we got my stock wheels with the super loud Duratrax that we can put back on if we're in a pinch. So I think we should get started. Let's take off these fender flares, and let's hope that I was smart enough to wrap all the way down to the trim down here that's underneath these. I think that I did, but this wrap is going to come off pretty soon. There's just little things here and there that are starting to bug me that either need to be redone or we just take it off. Here's an example right there where I cut the film a little bit. I don't even know how I did that. Maybe a stick got it when I was off-roading. I don't really know. But either way, these have to come off. Hopefully the factory trim that's on the inside there that's about this big, hopefully the vinyl goes up to it right now, because I don't really want to drive around with missing pieces of wrap around the fenders. I think we're okay. I'm gonna run this footage a little bit quick so we can get right to the point. And I think this is a wonderful time to rotate the tire, so we'll also do that. Let's hope this goes smooth. Well, that's some good news. We did wrap up to the edge of the factory trim. I see we have a blemish there where the panels kind of rubbed together, and that pushed the vinyl up a little bit. And I didn't even know because it was concealed the whole time by the old fender flares. But that's that. Now we got to put a mud flap back on there, but we're going to take this wheel off because we have to remove the spacer anyway, because that is not allowed. We can see the tire tread. So time to make some changes. Okay, wheels are off, ready to be rotated. I cleaned the threads off on the lug nuts, took off the old thread sealer. We've got our hub-centric rings right here, which are a must. Go on just like that. These spacers also have them installed, but they're just kind of stuck on there right now. I'm sure I could pry them off with a screwdriver, but that's what was making it a little difficult to get the wheel off. But as you can see, these 2-inch spacers were doing their job and still came off no problem. We had to use the big guns to get them off because there was a little bit of thread sealer on there for these nuts to stop them from backing off. Really just a safety precaution. Now, since we're up in the air, we'll install the mud flaps. The rear one's going to be really easy. Just use the existing screws. That hole there, notice it's white, so the vinyl I did get to the edge, so I'm really happy about that. Screw underneath holds this in place. That one's going to be easy. I always keep my old parts just in case. Now the front mud flap is going to be a different story, because if you remember when we installed the fender flares that were here with these larger wheels, with the spacers, we had to do the mud flap delete, obviously, but we had bent back some of the bracketry, actually took out a bracket as well. So I don't want to have to put all of that back in, but I think I can attach this to everything that's here with this screw, with that plug, with the screw underneath, the screw right there, and then right here, I'm gonna do something a little different just to pull the mud flap together with this piece. What I'm gonna do is use a longer screw and a washer. I didn't have a black washer, so that's gonna have to do. And then I'll use one of these retaining clips here just to pull it back and hold it tighter in this area, give it a bit of a curve to go with the fender well. So I think that's gonna work. But let's do the easy one first back here, and then we'll try this out. Well, what can I say? That's gonna have to do. I mean, they're secure. That's not going to be a problem. We have just a little bit of a gap there. It's just whether or not the wheel, once it's set back on, is going to rub on this part of the mud flap. I think we'll be okay because it's going to be inset a little further, whereas we were 2 inches out before with the spacer. Of course, the back we're not going to have to worry about at all because it doesn't do anything other than move up and down. Now, anytime you have your wheels off, this is a great time to clean the barrel, make sure it's all nice and pretty on the inside. Even though it does get dirty pretty quick, at least for a few days, we'll have it look a little nicer. Now I just have to rinse and repeat and do the other side. Well, there we have it. Hopefully this will satisfy the inspection. It says you're supposed to have full wheel coverage. I think we're there. What they might argue is the sidewall. You can see the knob sticking out a little bit. Hopefully we'll be okay. I guess we'll see. But I'm gonna get Mrs. DONSLIFE to come out here and crank the wheel so we can see if it rubs on the mud flaps. Okay, let's turn the wheel. Okay, the other way. I think we're good. Okay, turn the wheel. Back. Good job. Now I am gonna wash the truck before we take it in tomorrow. We're gonna hope for the best on this one. I think I'll bring Mrs. DONSLIFE too so she can distract whoever's inspecting it so they don't look at the tint and they just focus on the compliance with the mud flaps. All right, we're here with Mrs. DONSLIFE. It is the next day. We are going to get our inspection done to find out whether or not I go to jail. It's questionably warm enough to keep the windows down while we're parked, so that way we don't have the tint showing in the up position when I think the officer's gonna come outside and inspect the mud flaps. I just don't want to give them any other fuel for this issue because I don't want another tint ticket in the parking lot at the police station.
That would be our luck.
So everyone cross their fingers. Let's get this done. Basically what happened was she said, can you give me a picture of them installed? She didn't want to have to come outside and look at the vehicle. So Mrs. DONSLIFE is in the truck. She sent a couple of pictures and now this is validated and we're in the clear.
My nail lady just texted me and said, be careful because there's a ghost car right on this street behind us doing tint checks. Somebody in their BMW just got a ticket.
Well, the only way out of here is to turn that way.
Yeah, so keep the windows down.
Okay.
So we're getting a ticket.
All right, let's try. Well, home sweet home. We did not see the person giving tickets for tint on the way home, so that was good. Even though we had to go down the road that was claimed to be the road they were ticketing people.
Could have been on the other end.
So living in Canada, at least my neck of the woods here in Saskatchewan, tint is a severe offense. But we made it home. Thanks for the assist, even though we didn't need you to flex your guns. But we got it done. We survived to drive another day. So if you like today's video, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing.
And we'll talk to you next time.